Give a hand clap, everybody.
You should show some newer ones.
Yep, we're going to do that as well.
That one I like.
We're going to do that as well.
You're like, I got you.
Hold on, I got you. We're not done. Y'all thought we was done? We're not done. Listen, this lady got a whole YouTube page.
Which one you about to pick?
Listen, this lady got a whole YouTube page.
You got to.
You got to. That's what you got to do.
You got to do it.
She got about 57 clips in here, and I watched just about all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to do my research. This is what I
Wait, did you see the travel videos too?
Yes,
He's like, I told you. I watched all of
I
them.
told you. I want to show a few more clips of some performances that I thought were extremely nuanced, and I just want the audience to check them out as well, and we'll briefly discuss them before we move on. So check this out.
Okay.
This is a clip from, this is Trapped in the Farmhouse.
Oh, that one just came out recently, yeah.
Okay. Lifetime, what network?
Lifetime.
Lifetime, right. Welcome everybody, welcome back. This is the NPPodcast. I'm your host, Bellard. As always, I want to thank you guys for rocking with us. For those who have been watching, those who have subscribed, those who have liked, those who have shared, those who have commented, I really appreciate it. As you know, this is a platform not necessarily for myself, for multi-talented, extremely multi-talented artists that I know either personally or I found somehow, some way, or I've been recommended, whatever the case may be. This is a platform to highlight and showcase their diverse talents. And so that's what we're here to do, and talk about their narrow path journey. So today, I have a very unique, very unique, not only in talent, but in name as well. Very beautiful, multi-talented, multi-dimensional artist, Miss Tryphena Wade. And I'm going to, listen, I only have multi-talented people on this show with multi-talented bios. So for those who have been watching for a while, you know that when I read these bios, it's going to be a minute. So just sit back while I introduce Miss Tryphena, and man, just listen to the things that she's done. Miss Tryphena Wade is a multi-dimensional artist from Columbus, Ohio. She is a proud alumni of Howard University. HU?
Hey!
You know?
Wait, did you go to Howard?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to let you, trying to make you comfortable.
I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, No. But I know the lingo.
Yeah.
Okay. Where she earned her BFA in theater with a concentration in musical theater. While at Howard, she had the opportunity to study abroad at the University of Ghana, Legon, researching linguistics and ethnomusicology. That first trip abroad fed Tryphena's hunger to explore the world. She would later go on to create a blog, WeDon'tSitOnCouches.com. That is, WeDon'tSitOnCouches.com. and podcast, where she shared her travels and adventures in over 30 countries. I'm gonna call you Dora the Explorer. Black Dora. 30 countries.
Yeah.
As an actress, Tryphena has a wealth of experience on stage and screen. She's a veteran of the stage, having performed in theaters across U.S., Canada, and overseas. For 10 years, she portrayed Queen Sarabi in Disney's The Lion King in the North America tour and on Broadway. In August of 2017, Tryphena self-published her first book, The Heart Works, a collection. And in 2019, she directed, produced, and starred in Dear Carefree Black Girl, a short spoken word film based on a piece from her book. Most recently, she wrote, executive produced, and starred in another passion project, Solomon's Mood, which is currently on the festival circuit. Tryphena is passionate about telling new and nuanced Black stories that seek to uplift, honor, and celebrate the beauty of the African diaspora, as well as provide a conduit for new levels of freedom. Tryphena is also a certified life coach. Her personal life motto is "Fear is stupid," and she seeks to help others embrace fearlessness. She created the Fearless Living Society, which is a collection of workshops, courses, and group experiences designed to help others name, confront, and overcome fear. She also created a line of merchandise bearing the phrase "Fear is stupid." Her goal is to embody and display a life that is not controlled by fear and to help others do the same. Her quote, "My life experience has proven to me the euphoria of fearlessness trumps the comfort of staying safe."
That's me.
That's you. That's all you.
Some of me.
That's pretty powerful.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and the pleasure of introducing the first female on the Narrow Path podcast here in season 2, Miss Tryphena Wade. You're the first woman here in season 2.
Oh, season 2.
I've had the very talented Miss Ashley Aguilar.
Oh, yes.
Who starred in my film.
Okay.
In season 1.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
Well, happy to be the first lady of season 2.
We're happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, full disclosure, most of my guests that I have on, I either know personally or I'm pretty good friends with. But this is our first time meeting.
Yes.
I found Tryphena on We Audition, one of the Narrow Path Podcast's sponsors. For all you actors and filmmakers out there, go to We Audition if you need a reader.
Yeah.
Get 10% off your monthly membership with the promo code Narrow Path. That is Narrow Path.
Got the plug.
Got the plug in.
Love
you know,
it.
you got the sneak in. You got to get it in. You know what I'm saying?
We Audition is a great site.
It's a great site.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I have been, like yourself, I've been around the world a little bit.
Okay.
And I've met many people, and I've met many, I know a lot of unique women with unique names, but I have never.
You've never met a me.
Never met a Tryphena.
Well,
It's a beautiful, unique name.
Thank you. I mean, I can't take responsibility for it, but
that's your mama named you that, right?
My mama name.
Is that on your mama name? That's on your birth certificate,
It's
right?
on the certificate.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a meaning behind your name?
Yes.
Okay.
So, first of all, Tryphena is biblical.
Okay.
So, any Bible readers out there, it's in the Bible.
Okay.
And it means delicate.
Delicate.
Yes.
Okay. You a delicate flower.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
People are like, oh, you're delicate.
No. I mean, it's just the first thing came to my mind, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. That's nice. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. Is there, well, not to give out, I was going to ask, is there a unique middle name to go with it, or is...
Well, my middle name is Marie.
Marie.
And both my grandmothers, actually, that's their middle name.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. My mom's name is Marie.
Oh, really?
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
That's a really good name. I like
good
that.
name, yeah.
Well, her middle name technically is Marie. She doesn't, if I pronounce her first name, which I will not do here, Mom, if you're watching, I do not want to get in trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Is it complicated?
She knows. She just doesn't like her first name. She never has. Yeah, it's just one of those things.
That's too bad.
Yeah, we don't say it in public.
Oh, wow. It's like that.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah. Is it a different name, or it's just that she doesn't care for it?
I think if I were to guess, I would say I think she thinks it's an old fashioned.
Oh, it's like Eunice or something like that. Bernadette.
I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
Like, is that serious? I'll tell you off camera.
Sylvia or something. No offense to any Eunice's, Bernadettes, or Sylvia.
Right. The Bernadettes.
Right. Now they mad.
Right. The Fannie Mae's.
Fannie Mae.
Right.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I'll tell you off camera. So, as you know, this is the Narrow Path Podcast, where we bring on, I feel, underappreciated and overlooked Very talented people. And like I said, I found you on We Audition site, and I was reading your bio. I was watching your demo reels, and I was like, wow, this woman is really, really talented.
Thank you.
And you're very experienced on stage and screen. And I wanted to bring you on just to talk a little bit about your journey. Talk to us about your particular unique narrow path from your beginnings in Columbus, Ohio, to DC, to Ghana, to New York, to LA.
To LA. You got all of them in there. Yeah,
I do my research.
Yeah, well, first of all, I love narrow path. Like, I love that phrase. And then when I saw the logo, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's biblical.
So it is.
And it's also, it's parallel between the biblical passage, Matthew 7:13-14, about walking your narrow path and the broad path that most people take. And also it correlates directly with us actors and filmmakers and creators walking our own unique path. Because everybody's path to quote unquote success is not the same.
Very different.
It all looks very different. And so I thought that I don't know, that just stuck with me for a very long time. God gave me that name a long time ago, and I'm like, narrow path. Why did I narrow path? So there's Narrow Path Podcast, Narrow Path Productions, Narrow Path Puppies, like my whole thing.
Narrow Path Puppies.
I got
puppies on the straight and narrow.
I got a breeding business, Narrow Path Puppies.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So it's a whole brand.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, I think I can definitely say I've been on a narrow path. I've been on my own path, certainly. So yeah, I mean, I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, regular Midwestern family, 4 kids, mom and dad, grew up in church, the whole thing.
Right.
And I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be an actor. Like, I knew, just watching TV, I knew that I wanted to do what they were doing, I also really loved opera. So I wanted to be an opera singer as well, which is why I majored in musical theater at Howard, because I thought they were the same. They're not really the same, but I mean, there are some elements, I guess, that are the same, but yeah. But yeah, I always knew that I wanted to perform growing up. I performed in school plays. I performed in church plays. I took dance classes, like the whole shebang. And I remember hearing that I loved and still love Miss Felicia Rashad. Yes. Adore. Okay. So shout out to Miss Felicia.
And we'll get to her later.
Yes.
We'll get to her in depth later.
Yeah. So I knew that she, along with Debbie Allen, I knew that they had both gone to Howard, and I was like, well, good enough for them, good enough for me.
Right.
So that's where I decided to go. And I'm so glad that I did, because, and I feel like I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I feel like my career, my life in this industry, and just in the world in general, I think going to a Black college, there was no sense of you have to work harder because you're Black. There was an expectation that you were excellent, and that was it.
Right.
So what I find in a lot of people is that, especially, kids who went like to predominantly white, institutions, especially as theater majors, they had to fight to do a Black play. They had to fight to do an August Wilson play. They had to fight. And for us, it was like, that was just it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what it was.
That's what it was. And we didn't do plays only by Black playwrights. But because we did Shakespeare as well, we did the classics, but there was no sense of fighting to be seen as a Black person. And I think that has changed. I think that affects the way I show up in the world, because I'm expecting to be seen as excellent because I'm excellent. I'm not expecting for it to be like, oh, well, she's excellent and she's Black.
Right.
Like, oh my God. Right. It's like, what do you mean? Right. I'm excellent. Period. That's the sentence. Right. I'm excellent. That's it.
Right.
So I think Howard definitely gave me that. And then also having the opportunity to study abroad at the University of Ghana I'm
How
so
was it?
thankful for that.
Please talk to me about that because Ghana, Africa is on. I've been all over the world. Like I said, I've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Not 30. I haven't been 30 countries.
Okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
I've been.
We forgive you.
I ain't done.
There's still time.
But Africa is still on my bucket list, specifically Ghana.
Yeah.
I was actually supposed to direct a music video over in Nigeria in January, February.
Okay.
But as of right now, that's on standstill. That fell through. But I've always wanted to visit Ghana. Yeah. And you had a chance to not just go there, but study there and study what you love.
Yeah, I did a semester.
About that experience.
Yeah, no, I did a semester at the University of Ghana, and it was life-changing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I would still say that it was the most life-changing experience of my life. Mm-hmm. Because in the US, in Europe, in the Western world, as a Black person, you don't often have an opportunity to be in a space that is in a country where everyone looks like you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so even though I went to Howard, which is a Black college, there's still a bit of culture shock when you go to a Black nation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just to go to the market and this bustling place with all of these people and everybody selling and buying and all of these things are happening, and you look out into the crowd and everybody looks like you. Right. Like everybody looks like you. Right. And so I think that was definitely a formative experience for me. And it certainly drilled home like, oh, this is where we're from. Mm-hmm. We're from here. Right. This is our place. This is home. Right. And that's what it felt like. I felt very much at home, you know? And we traveled. I mean, the research that we were doing had us traveling throughout the country. So we got to go to some of the different regions and the people were so welcoming, so kind, so generous. And it was just amazing. Right. It was an amazing experience.
I'm so jealous.
I think of it daily. And it's almost like I was there yesterday. Yeah. You know?
Why only one semester?
That's just what the program was. The program was just one semester abroad, and you got to choose. You know, there were a variety of research topics that you could choose from, and each, depending on what you chose, that determined which country you were going to. Gotcha. And Ghana was at the top of my list, so gotcha. I was happy that I was able to go to Ghana. So it was amazing, and I think for folks who want to go back to the continent who've never been, I think Ghana is a perfect first country to go to, mm-hmm. just because it is a country where, you know, a lot of the slave trade happened, mm-hmm. And those structures are still standing, right. And I think that's important and powerful to see, right. You know, like the door of no return.
I've seen a bunch of them on TV.
Yeah, YouTube, I think it's a sobering experience to walk through those spaces. Right. You know, the energy is very like, it's electric. Like you can feel that energy is still there, right. And probably will always be there. Right. I can't imagine that it would never be there.
Yeah, because it's powerful.
Absolutely, it is
extremely impactful.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was an amazing experience for me to have, and yeah, it was life changing.
Wow,
life changing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I am jealous. So from Ghana, you went to New York?
Yeah. So after I graduated Howard, I stayed in DC for a couple years and worked. I did some theater in DC. Mm-hmm. But then I was also, you know, auditioning for shows in New York as well and auditioning for regional theaters. So eventually it was just better for me to be in New York, because at that point I was traveling to New York so often to audition that I was like,
you might as well live here.
I need to just live here. Right. Like, this is getting out of control, you know?
Yes, yeah. So
I moved to New York, and soon after I moved to New York, I was working almost immediately as soon as I moved. And then a couple of years after I moved, I had the opportunity to work on a cruise ship, actually. So I was overseas for close to a year working on the ship.
Wow. Doing plays?
I was one of the singers on the ship, one of the performers on the ship.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And that's a lot of my travel comes from that because I was going to all these places. We were in the Mediterranean. So I've seen almost every country bordering the Mediterranean.
Wow.
Twice. At least twice.
Wow.
So that was pretty amazing.
Man, a brother couldn't even take you on vacation. You done seen everything.
I haven't seen everything.
You wouldn't even get excited if a brother wanted to take you on vacation.
No, that's not true. Because I love to travel.
You done seen it all.
I love to travel. So travel excites me. You know, travel excites me. So if I were to go, like there are places that I would go again. There are places that I've been several times because I love them so much, you know.
Right.
So if y'all trying to take a sister on vacation, the passport is ready. Okay?
Fellas, listen.
We're not going to Miami.
She said no
Miami is cute, but
she say no Miami. You got to have your passport ready. You hear me? It don't matter if she done been to 30 countries. She want to make it. How many countries is there in the world?
There are 150.
Okay, she got 50 more on her bucket list. At least.
I love to travel. So I'm you know.
Yeah.
I want to see every place, you know. So
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay.
So I moved to New York. I, did the cruise ship. After being on the cruise ship, I decided to stay in Europe and just kind of travel around for a little while, just for a few weeks, because I was like, I'm here. You know, they're letting us off the ship in Spain. Mm-hmm. Why am I going to get on a plane and go immediately back to the States? I'm here. Let me just explore a little bit. And that was actually my first audition for The Lion King was in Germany.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, which I actually didn't put in there. It's crazy. So I had the opportunity to audition for The Lion King in Germany. Didn't get it, which was fine because I was like, I don't know if I want to live in Hamburg. Like this is, I wasn't quite ready for that.
Right.
But came back to the States, and then a year later I booked Lion King, and then I went on tour.
Sweet.
So
talk to me about the Lion King experience because you spent 10 years.
A decade.
Mm-hmm. In a Disney production.
Absolutely.
Please speak to me about that. How was that?
It was amazing. The Lion King was my dream show. Mm. So, and I also...
Now, this was on and off Broadway?
So, I started on tour.
You started on tour.
And then I was on tour for 6 years.
Okay.
And then I left the tour and then immediately went to Broadway.
Okay.
And I was on and off Broadway for about 4 years. Pretty consistently, yeah.
Okay.
So...
Playing the same character, Queen.
Same character,
Queen
Sarabi. Yeah. Same character. I also understudied Shenzi, which, if you know the animated feature, that is the Whoopi Goldberg hyena.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. Two very different characters.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, Lion King was my dream show for so long. Mm-hmm. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the show I want to be in.
Right. I mean,
and I love the show. To this day, I still love the show. Mm-hmm. The music is beautiful. The story is beautiful. The set, everything is just amazing, know. And it's a hard show. Physically.
How many shows were you guys doing?
We do a full 8 shows a week.
You were doing 8 shows a week?
We do 8. So that's the typical Broadway schedule is 8 shows a week. Okay. So you usually you'll have Mondays off.
Okay.
Then you'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'll have 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Okay. That's usually how it goes. Okay. Sometimes the schedule will shift. That's usually how it goes on tour. When you get on Broadway, sometimes you'll have 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have 1 on Sunday. And then, yeah. So, but yeah, full 8 show a week, gig, traveling around the country. We started off, when I started the show, at that point they were doing 1 city a month. So you would go to a city and just kind of be there for the month, do the show, and then move to the next city. Some cities we would be in for 2 months just because of the size of the city or whatever. Like when we came to LA, we were in LA for 2 months. We went to Honolulu for 2 months. We would be in Chicago for 2 months.
Living the life.
So
you just been
yeah.
Living.
And that was also part of my travel as well, because up until that point, I had seen a lot of, Europe and a little bit of Africa at that point, but I hadn't seen much of the United States. So it was really cool to be able to see the United States, on somebody else's dime.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
You living on somebody else's dime.
So yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Yeah. But I mean, the show is not easy. Like,
oh no, I wouldn't think.
We work hard to make it look easy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because a lot of rehearsal time.
Yeah. But not even that. It's just like physically what you're doing. You're carrying a lot of things. I don't know if you've seen the show, but like there are moments where things are being carried on your head. Like everything is
I've seen clips of the show. I've seen trailers.
So like everything is a puppet that you are using your body to manipulate in some way. So it can be hard on the body. But it was my dream show for so long, and I loved it. I still love it.
That is a blessing. That is a blessing.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with theater or stage, in my opinion, is like you can't top it. That adrenaline, that rush,
that immediate
satisfaction
from the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's all immediate. So
yeah. But you are also a veteran of the screen.
Well, I don't know if I would call myself a veteran.
Well, you've been in...
But I've done a few things.
You've done a few things. Lifetime, you've done... you've done quite a few things. And if you're wondering, for the audience out there, is this lady really as talented as they're saying she is? And let's see some footage.
Oh, now he pulls out that clip.
Let's see some footage.
Ooh, what's about this show?
Let's show them how you get down.
What's about this show?
Yeah, let's watch Mrs. Wade.
Not Mrs.
I'm sorry, Miss
Mrs.
Wade.
Mrs. Wade is my mother and my sister-in-law.
Let's watch Miss Wade demo reel.
Okay.
And show y'all exactly what she's working with here.
Okay.
Then Mr. Roberts.
He put his hands on me.
I'm confused. You say this new teacher made sexual advances on you?
Yes.
John Roberts is gay. He's been with the same man for 10 years.
As if that means anything these days.
These allegations are extremely serious. You thought approaching their witness was a good idea? That's tampering on our part. You could get this whole thing thrown out. So why are you so calm?
She saw it all.
So we could win? Never scare me like that again. Jesus! You can find my file.
Nice mugshot.
Erase it.
You're in the wind. Anything else?
The agent heading up the case against me, I want his personal information. Name, address, everything.
It's all there in your inbox.
He sounds like a great kid.
He would have been 12 last Tuesday.
I can look into the fine print of what you signed. He had listed migraines, but what he was experiencing was a symptom of something, well, obviously much more serious.
So we could fight them on those grounds, right? They could have saved him. Doctors said they could have reduced the swelling.
Mrs. Clifford, these companies, they have teams of lawyers. I think you could save yourself a lot of money and heartache by not pursuing this.
If I don't pursue it, I won't be able to sleep at night. He deserved better. What if it was your son?
Give her a hand clap, everybody.
You should show some newer ones.
Yep, we're going to do that as well.
That one I like.
We're going to do that as well.
You're like, I got you.
Hold on, I got you. We not done. Y'all thought we was done? We not done. Listen, this lady got a whole YouTube page.
Which one you about to pick?
Listen, this lady got a whole YouTube page.
You got to.
You got to. That's what you got to do.
You got to do it.
She got about 57 clips in there, and I watched just about all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to do my research. This is what I
Wait, did you see the travel videos too?
Yes,
He's like, I told you. I watched all of
them. I told you. I want to show a few more clips of some performances that I thought were extremely nuanced, and I just want the audience to check them out as well, and we'll briefly discuss them before we move on. So check this out.
Okay.
This is a clip from, this is Trapped in the Farmhouse.
Oh, that one just came out recently, yeah.
Okay. Lifetime, what network?
Lifetime.
Lifetime.
Mhm.
Lifetime, right.
Anything, Deputy?
Got some fresh tire tracks. Looks like an SUV.
Well, it's a farm. Lots of vehicles.
Well, you said it was just your pickup.
Right. Well, must have been my daughter's car. She's got a 4Runner.
And where's that car now?
My mother-in-law's house.
Which would be?
Florida.
Your daughter drove to Florida.
Yeah, she hates flying. Kids, right?
Do you mind giving me her grandmother's name and phone number so I can follow up?
Sure.
I'm just gonna take a look around before I go, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
We're going to show 2 more just to show her range.
Wait, is that Jackie Evanston, the writer?
Oh, I don't believe we've had the pleasure. And you are?
A fan? Big fan. Candace Kane.
Candace Kane, huh? As in Candy Cane?
Please, just Andy.
So, just Andy. Olivia's childhood friend, formerly of New England.
She told you about me?
Oh, she didn't have to.
Then how did you?
Well, you're the same age, and as the only other non-Kenilworth in attendance, I imagine the Jeep parked out front with the summer camp bumper sticker on it belongs to you.
And what about New England?
Well, if the likes of Olivia Kenilworth were in attendance, I imagine Camp Bayview was not inexpensive, in which case one of your parents probably worked there, which means you grew up within commuting distance. Christmas cookie?
There is no greater pleasure in life
Then
than...
a well-made cookie. You bred mayhem molasses.
Are you kidding? That was your very first Birdie Pickett mystery. Although personally, I don't think the miniseries did her justice.
Oh, you and me both. Raphaël,
Excuse me, Miss
vous avez
Evanston.
dit que vous n'aviez rien à cacher. Alors pourquoi avez-vous essayé de vous échapper?
J'ai dit que je n'avais fait de mal à personne. Je n'ai pas dit que je n'avais rien à cacher.
Alors, s'il vous plaît, dites-le la vérité.
You speak French too?
Un peu. Oui,
What?
a little
Oui,
bit.
oui? Parlez-vous français?
A little bit. Un peu, un peu. Yeah, I'm working on it.
You's a bad lady.
You know what's interesting about that is that they did not, there was no mention of the character speaking French in the audition process. And I found out later on that the other actor that I'm speaking to in that scene was cast later. And so they decided just to kind of shake it up to write that scene for him in French with my character. But nobody ever said to me, hey, by the way, do you speak French?
Right.
I
You
didn't
just happen to speak
They
French.
sent me the script, the final script, right before we started shooting, and I'm reading through it, and I was like, hold up. Wait a minute now. No, y'all didn't mention this part.
Right.
I was like, well, good thing I speak French.
Right.
Because I would have been probably very nervous.
When did you learn fluently?
Well, no.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
I got
So in high school, well, actually starting in the 8th grade, the school that I went to in the 8th grade required a language, required that you learn a language.
Yeah.
So I took French.
Yeah.
And then the high school that I went to also required that you learn a language.
Same
So
here.
I just continued with French.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I've had 5 years of French, but I mean, I'm not fluent just because I haven't
I got you.
had time to really talk with anyone.
I got you. I'm saying I took high school. I
Yeah.
took French in high school too, and then I
Yeah.
forgot everything.
Yeah, but I was fluent enough to do that, and I worked with the guy in that scene, and he was like, and he's a native French speaker. He's from France, so he was like, "You sound great. Your accent is great. Your pronunciation is great. Like you're fine." And I was like, "Really?" He was like,
Right.
"Yeah, you're great." And I've also too, just in my travels, had opportunity to practice a little bit. So,
I got you.
so I was like, "Well, that just worked out beautifully."
Well,
didn't
see,
it?
my family is from Louisiana, so they
Okay.
speak Creole.
Creole, yeah.
Well, my family's from Texas, Houston, and they
Okay.
all migrated from Louisiana.
from Louisiana.
But Creole French,
Okay.
runs is kind of
Yeah.
like broken
Yeah.
French or a different brand of French.
Yeah.
But I found that very interesting. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you really do it all. You sing,
I do a few things.
you do a little bit of everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
everything. Speaking of which, doing a little bit of everything, not only that, you're also an author.
I am an author.
Self-published.
Yes.
Your first book in August 2017, The Heartworks,
Yes.
a collection. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Heartworks. So that actually started as a journaling exercise. I was doing this challenge for myself called 100 Days of Happy.
Okay.
And so for 100 days, I decided that for 100 days, I was going to journal something that made me happy that day. Well, actually, it was not just something that made me happy, but just journal out whatever happened that day.
Right.
And then, there were days where I had a lot to say. There were days where I had nothing to say. There were days where I said the same thing I said yesterday,
Right.
But that's kind of how that started. And so I finished the 100 days, and then I was like, I feel like this could be something else. So, I just kind of kept it in the back of my mind. And then in 2017, which I was having a really hard year that year, like really hard year. And I pulled it back out, and I was like, I should do something with this. So I kind of took some of the journal entries, and then I added in other pieces, other things that I had written, and put a book together. Wow. So it's not like a novel or anything. It's a collection of short stories and poems and journal entries.
Is it still available, like on Amazon?
On Amazon.
On Amazon. Go get it. Go get it.
It's available on Amazon.
The Heartworks, a collection. And so in 2019, you took a excerpt of short spoken word, and you turned it into a film. Called Dear Carefree Black Girl.
Yeah. So in the book, there's a piece that I wrote called Dear Carefree Black Girl. So it's a longer piece in the book, and I decided to kind of turn it into a short film. So I clipped it down a little bit and created a short film called Dear Carefree Black Girl. Yeah.
How was that experience? Did you direct it, or did you?
I directed it. I was in it. I produced it. I did all the things except shoot it. And it was very bare bones. Like, I didn't know how I was going to do it. At first, I thought, I'll get friends together and have them do like testimonials about what they feel about being a carefree Black girl or whatever. And so it kind of morphed over time into different things, but it ended up being just a spoken word piece. And there was a bit of a story to it. So one of my cast members from The Lion King on Broadway, I asked her if she and her daughter would come and be in it. And so her daughter was the carefree Black girl in the video, or in the short. And I found somebody who was just eager to shoot some stuff.
Right.
And she brought her camera, and then another friend of mine came and helped me, turn my apartment into a set. So
that's typically how it starts.
Yeah, so it was very bare bones.
Right.
It was very bare bones. Yeah.
Have an idea
and just shoot it. Yeah.
Shoot something.
Yeah. So, and that was my first run at producing, which, I mean, that was kind of easy because it didn't really require much money at all. And, I edited it myself and did all the things. Right. My film that I just produced a lot more complicated.
Right. And we're about to talk about that.
It's a lot more complicated.
We're getting ready to get into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Dear Carefree Black Girl.
That was your first time dipping your toe in the filmmaking.
That was my first time. Yeah. Well, no, because I did a little something on tour too. When I was on tour with The Lion King, we did little things all the time. But that was my first time like producing, by myself and all of that. So yeah.
So your passion project that's currently on circuit on the film festival circuits, Solomon's Move. Solomon's Move.
Yes.
Where did that inspiration come from? I know part of it is Solomon's song from
Song of Solomon
from the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a love story.
It is a love story.
Right.
Yes.
Two people who've never met. They write love letters to their spouse.
To their future person.
Their future person.
Yes.
and somehow, some way, it all comes together.
Somehow, some way.
All right. Right. That's an interesting perspective. On love and the hopefulness of healthy Black love. Healthy Black mature love.
Yes.
Go into depth about your whole vision behind the project.
I mean,
we're going to show a clip.
Everything that you said is exactly what I wanted to show and what I wanted to see. Because, as I started to become more interested in film work and television, I was seeing all of these stories that were supposed to be Black love stories. And I was like, first of all, none of them felt real to me. None of them felt accurate to my experience. But also, it was disheartening to see that a lot of stories were coming from a place of like two characters who have experienced the same trauma.
Right.
Or
and they're trauma bonding. They think it's love, but it's really trauma bonding.
Or just, this whole mentality of ride or die, and that means you got to go through some foolishness first. And I'm just like, that's whack. Like, that's so whack, y'all.
I heard some girl say, I can't be a ride or die anymore. Every time I've rode, I've died. And I just fell
We're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore.
I thought that was so
No
funny.
more. So I was tired of seeing that. And then also, too, I just felt like none of the stories were actual mature love stories. It felt like, you had two people who found each other attractive and they end up in the bed together, and then they're like, I think I like you. What's your name again? I think I like you. Right. Wait, I love you. Are we in a relationship? Well, and I'm like, that's so backwards. Like the way, I just think that in general, the way relationships are done, generally speaking, can be very backwards. I think that there's a lack of patience. There's a lack of maturity. There's a lack of, and I was just tired of
all the things.
A lack of all the things that are actually love, Right. So I decided to write my own. And that actually started when I was on tour. Writing that story started while I was on tour with The Lion King. A friend of mine gave me a book called Let God Write Your Love Story or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was kind of introduced to the idea of writing love letters to your future person. Okay. And so I thought, oh, wow, that's an interesting concept. And so that's kind of where the story of Solomon's Mood started. And then I don't know why, but I was reading Song of Solomon, and I don't know if y'all have ever read Song of Solomon, but that thing is steamy. And, as a person who grew up in church, you never hear about sensuality or like eroticism in the Bible. Right. Like people almost act like it doesn't exist.
No, it exists.
And I'm like, but it's a whole book in here, y'all, where they really talk about, climbing trees and grabbing clusters of fruit. And I don't think they talking about grapes.
So about their life.
About their life. So I was like, I would love to incorporate this into a love story. So I like I said, I started while I was on tour, and I didn't finish it until 2020. When everything locked down, I was like, I'm finishing Solomon's Mood this year.
Well, let's check it out. Let's for those that are curious about it, we got a trailer out in your festivals right now. Go check it out. Let's see what it do.
You know how you pray for something and then you get a glimpse of it?
There was this guy yesterday at the bookstore. So?
Oh, gosh.
Did you say something?
Your lips taste sweet. Like honey off the comb.
May your kisses be sweet like the finest wine.
All right, Solomon's Mood. Look like your mood. Well, you looked up at him, boy. you was ready to get your man. Look. You looked through that man's spirit. You knew what You was ready. But it's a very intriguing narrative.
Yeah.
Because there aren't a lot of true, like you said, true Black love stories out there that depict healthy, fruitful, just love and emotions. And the fact that you're both writing from both perspectives, what you want in your partner, love letters to your partner, I think that's very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think so too.
What festivals has it been accepted to? Which ones?
It's been accepted to Bronze Lens Film Festival, which is actually happening next week in Atlanta.
Okay, give them all the details.
Yeah, so it's August 24th at 9 p.m. if anybody's in Atlanta. August 24th at 9 p.m. at the Landmark Cinema. If you go to the Bronze Lens website, you'll be able to get tickets for that. Okay. There's also an online component happening the following week. So if people are not in Atlanta and they want to see it, then you, again, go to their website and you'll be able to find out all of the information about the online part. And then also Burbank International Film Festival.
Right here.
Right here, which is happening in September.
I'm going to have to go check it out.
Yes. And then there's a festival called We Make Movies International Film Festival, which is happening also right here in LA. Okay. And I mean, I've submitted to tons of other film festivals. So
which is not cheap.
Listen.
I
think I've spent probably at least $1,000 or somewhere around there on film festival submissions.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I've written and directed 9 films.
Yeah. Excuse me?
I know.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Film festivals are not cheap.
It's not
especially
cheap.
for independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
So when a filmmaker gets accepted, just being accepted is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because they don't take everybody. They get hundreds and thousands of submissions.
Yeah.
It's a big deal when you get it. Even if they don't win, even if you don't win anything, just to be included in the festival can sometimes be huge.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I have to remind myself of that.
Yes.
Because I've gotten a lot of no's, a lot of not selected. Oh, we regret to inform you. And I'm like, what y'all about to say?
Same here.
So I have to celebrate the yeses.
Yes, celebrate the wins. Every win, no matter how small, is a big win.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing everything on your own.
Listen.
So.
Listen. Yeah.
That is awesome. So I'll definitely check it out when it comes to the Burbank festival.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. Yeah,
and I'll let my viewers know how it went.
Yeah.
And last but not least, of all the things we mentioned, out of all the things she does, she is also a certified life coach.
I am.
A certified life coach on top of everything else. How, ma'am, did you...
You're like, when did you do that?
How, ma'am, did you find time to become a certified life coach?
Well, okay, so actually around the same time that I wrote my book, 2017, I had people asking me to coach them. And at that time, I had no idea what a life coach was. But I was like, again, that was a really rough year for me. And I was like, do y'all not see that my life is in shambles?
Right.
What are you talking about? Coach you in what?
Most life coaches' lives are in shambles themselves.
I was like, my life is in shambles. What am I going to tell you?
Right.
But from the outside looking in, what people saw was someone who wasn't afraid to travel by herself, someone who wasn't afraid to be adventurous, someone who wasn't afraid to, go after her dreams, somebody who, that's what people were seeing. And I was like, wow, okay. So, and a few different people asked me. Okay. And I'm like, okay, there's something to this, that people who are not even connected to each other are asking me to do this for them, to coach them.
That's a sign.
Yeah. So I started researching it and looking into it, and I realized that I was kind of already doing it. I think I was doing it through my blog, WeDon'tSitOnCouches.com, because the whole goal of the blog was to encourage people to get off the couch and live. I would share my travels and share the adventurous things that I would do, and people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I would love to do that, but I would be so afraid. Like, that was always the response that I was getting. And I just got tired of hearing that. And so one of my catchphrases was fear is stupid. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Listen. Listen. She think we playing over here. She think we playing over here. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying?
The research.
This what I do.
So yeah, I actually created a line of apparel, like merchandise, with the phrase "fear is stupid" on it. And that was my whole thing. Is like, I don't want to get to the end of my life and realize that there are things that I haven't done only because I was afraid to do them. You know, I've always wanted to travel. I've always, wanted to live in New York. I've always wanted to be an actor. I've always wanted to be on Broadway.
Right.
And I meet so many people who say the same thing. Oh, I would love to do that. I wanted to do that since I was a kid, but they just don't do it because they're afraid. And so I was like, that's not the way to live.
Right. You can't grow inside of your comfort zone.
You can't. And you can't live a life completely governed by fear. It's just not the way to live, you know?
Will Smith had a quote about fear. I can't remember what it was, but it was, when he said it, it hit me. Something about danger is real, but fear is something in your mind or something to that. I know I'm messing it up, but something to that effect. Danger is real, but fear is just something.
It's in your mind.
That happens in your mind.
And the thing about it is, as a coach, as a life coach, I have learned that it's a natural response. It's an evolutionary thing that's in us. When we were, being chased by saber-toothed tigers, you needed fear to get you to where you needed to be and get you to safety.
Right.
But hopefully no one's being chased by a saber-toothed tiger anymore. If you are, where are you? I won't be going there. Maybe I will. Might want to pet one.
Universes.
Right. But it's just, it was something that for me, I was like, it's unacceptable to live a life of fear. And so when I decided to start exploring life coaching, that was what I decided to focus on, is fearless living. And then in 2020, once again, when nobody had anything to do and the world shut down, I was like, let me go ahead and get certified, So I found a program that I could do online.
So listen, y'all, she is certified.
Listen.
She ain't just out here calling herself a life coach.
Because
she's certified.
Real. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's all about the training.
Yeah.
So you also, being a life coach and having the motto that fear is stupid, you created the Fearless Living Society.
Yeah.
Which is a collection of workshops, courses, and group experiences designed to name, confront, and overcome fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
Nice.
So at one point, I had a Facebook group for a while, which I don't do that anymore, but I had that for a while. I created some online courses. I created a whole 3-week one-on-one course with me. I've done workshops. So that's...
You just out here, huh?
I mean, we gotta live life, right?
You gotta live life.
We gotta live life, you know what I mean?
She out here punching fear in the face.
Listen. And the funny thing about it is, too, when people hear me say things like that, they're like, oh, so you don't have no fear. You're not afraid of anything. And I'm like, that's actually not true. It's not that I don't ever feel fear. It's just that I don't want fear to be the thing that keeps me from doing whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Most people, I don't know if they would call it fear, but they don't want to do things or travel alone. It's like they don't want to be seen as doing things by themselves, or loneliness, or not having anybody in their lives or anything like that. Would you call that insecurity, or what would you call that? Not necessarily fear.
Well, I think there is a fear of appearing to have no one.
Okay.
Like, if you travel by yourself, nobody wants to go with you. or
I travel by myself all the time.
listen, I think
all the time.
It's such a great way to travel.
Because I don't have to worry about nobody.
Listen,
when I'm ready to go,
do your
I'm
own
ready
thing,
to go.
okay? And you know, a lot of women are afraid to travel alone for understandable reasons. You know,
safety reasons.
Which I totally get.
Right.
But I tell people, you know, make sure a few people have your itinerary.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you know that's the perfect time to listen to your gut instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And if something doesn't feel right, get out of there immediately. Right. There's no time to question or anything like. If it doesn't feel right, leave it alone. Right. You know what I mean? Do the research on the places that you want to go. Make sure, you know, wherever you're going to stay, make sure you get the lay of the land before you get there. Right. You know, look at Google Maps. It's just that simple. Right. See what's around the spot. You know what I mean? Ask people if they have recommendations or if they know anyone in the place that you're going, so you kind of have a point of contact. Right. So like there are all kinds of things that you can do to set yourself up so that even if you're going alone, you still have connection to people. You know what I mean? Right. And then just, you know, have a good time. But I think especially women, you know, we're afraid to appear as if we have no friends. We're afraid to appear as if we have no man. We're like all of these things. And I'm like, but you're not living your life.
Right.
Like if
you sit around and wait for a man to jump through your window and you don't really
you don't want the man jumping through your window.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
You don't want that guy. Why are you jumping through my window, my guy? What are you doing?
Hey, you'd be surprised. There's some women that like that. They like that stalker. That's a problem. They like the cat in the bushes. They like the.
And see, that's how those relationship movies be starting. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
We're not doing that. Girl, he stalked you. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Girl, he just really like me, girl. I like a man that don't take no for an answer.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, sweet. That is what's up.
Yeah.
That is what's up. You have a very interesting and unique journey and story.
Thank you.
And so this has been a very interesting first half of the interview, and please give our audience all of your social media handles where they can find you, where they can find your work, and just let the people know how they can contact you.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Tryphena_Wade. So just my name with an underscore between.
And I'll put everything on the screen.
Okay. My film, Solomon's Mood, is Solomon's Mood on Instagram. You can find pretty much everything I do at my website, which is tryphenawade.com. On Facebook, you can find me, Tryphena Wade. Like, you know, if you just Google me, you can find.
Listen, she the only Tryphena.
Well, that's
that
not
I
true.
know.
I've met. I actually grew up with. Well, our name is.
Stop it.
Slightly
Stop
different.
It.
Yes.
Stop it.
Her name is Tryphenia. So
okay,
I'm Tryphena. She's Tryphenia. Okay. But I've actually met people. I remember I was at an audition in New York once, and you know they were kind of calling to see who was there, and they said my name. And then a few minutes later, some random guy came from like across the room, and he was like, "Your name is Tryphena?" And I was like, "Yes." He was like, "My cousin's name is Tryphena." And I'm like, "Stop lying." He was like, "Yeah, my cousin's name." So
Wow. Okay. You ain't okay.
I'm not the only one, but I'm you know, there are a few of us.
Okay. I would have took pride in being the only one on earth.
Well, I mean, but
Me
I can't.
Personally,
I can't claim.
Like, can't nobody say they got my name.
I can't claim to be the only one if I know I'm not. Okay, but there are a few of us.
I feel you.
Yeah, I've met people on Instagram who reach out to me randomly, like, "Hey, my name is Tryphena too," and I'm like, "Hey, girl."
Right, I feel you.
So yeah,
you must have had this conversation your entire life. Like from the time you were a little girl.
Yeah, I mean,
up until now.
Yeah, people often ask me where my name came from, what's the meaning of it. I've had people say, "Oh, your parents must have been Black Panthers." Like, I guess this name sounds militant or something. I don't know. I'm like, no, it's in the Bible.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
And then, you know, when people find out it's biblical, they're like, oh. So then, you know, that brings a whole level of something else.
Right.
So,
I got
yeah.
you. I got you.
And a lot of mispronunciations. Yeah. A lot of those.
I would imagine.
A lot of those, yeah.
But you keep shining. You keep being the star that you are. Because you are definitely a star. And I'm honored to say that when she blows up, when she really, really blows up, I can say, hey, I had on the Narrow Path podcast before she shot into the atmosphere.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
No problem. So thank you for coming through, sharing your story, sharing your journey, letting the audience get to know you a little bit better. Any casting directors, producers out there, I know we're on strike right now.
Yes.
There is a strike going on.
That is happening.
But once that ends, you know, you can come to the Narrow Path podcast for all your talent. And we got a leading lady right here.
Hey.
You got a leading lady right here. You done seen her work. If you want to see a little bit more of her work, she gave you all the info where you can find all the work and how to contact her. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a unique talent that you are. And now we're going to have a little fun.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna get to know her on a little deeper level. We're going to get her opinions. We're going to get to see what she really feel about things. We're going to have a little fun on the second half of the show. She's going to help me co-host the show. So y'all know how we do. The viewers who've been watching for a while, y'all know how we get down. This is the second portion of the show. We're going to do what we do. We're going to take a little break from our sponsor to hear from our sponsor, We Audition, and also BetterHelp. And we'll be right back. What it do, everybody? This your boy DR Bellard. I know you're enjoying the interview, and we're gonna get right back to that, but I need to take a small break to talk to all my actors, my filmmakers, my creatives out there who don't know about this amazing website called We Audition. All right. You ever get a job from your agent and you don't have anybody to read with, and you got a quick turnaround, 24-hour turnaround or something like that, 12-hour turnaround, something crazy, but you don't have anybody to read lines with you? Well, We Audition has solved that, right? Virtually. We are in a digital age, and We Audition has handled it perfectly, all right? It is a video, I have it up here up on the screen. It's a video chat community to audition, rehearse, self-tape, and get advice on your self-tapes. I use it all the time. All right. This is how I booked some of the national commercials that I've done and other projects that I've done. I've met amazing people on this site. You can be comfortable in your own home and prepared at the same time in your own space, but with the interaction and the direction and guidance, right? It's creating a better experience and stronger relationships when you meet these dope people on the site who understand what you're going through. And on top of all of that, when you get ready to sign up, you click the link in this video. Go to sign up and put Narrow Path in the promo code. That's right, Narrow Path in the promo code, and you get 25% off your monthly membership. That's right, 25% off your $10 membership. Because why? Every penny counts. That's why. And not only that, not only are you saving money, but when you refer somebody, you also make money. And you can make money as a scene partner, reading for someone. There are people that make $3,000 or $4,000 a month just reading as a scene partner for other actors. Come on, you can't beat that. We Audition is where it's at. All right? Can't say it anymore. Narrow Path, promo code, sign up today, refer somebody, holla at your boy. Back to the interview. All right, and we are back.
She's so pretty.
She's so pretty. She's so pretty.
So beautiful.
Mrs. Huxtable, she's so pretty. Well, first and foremost, our first topic is Miss Felicia Rashad, who is the Dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts at Howard University, where you went. I thought it would be HU. Can I say that? I don't know if I can say it.
I'll let you have it.
All right, appreciate it. Don't beat me up. All you Howard alums, don't beat me up. I'm just making it do what it do. But she is recently, the headline is she is recently getting ready to step down after the 23 school year as Dean of the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts. She graduated from Howard in 1970 with a bachelor's in fine arts and expressed her excitement about the position back in 2021 and said it is a privilege to serve in this capacity and to work with Howard University administration, faculty, and students in reestablishing the College of Fine Arts. It was announced that a search for a new dean will begin shortly. So first off, what were your thoughts of her taking the position when she was originally announced, with her being a Howard alum? And now what are your thoughts about her allegedly stepping down, and also the controversy of the statements that she made about her former co-star, Mr. Bill
Mr.
Cosby?
Well, when this happened, we were all excited.
Right.
We were like, can we re-enroll?
Right.
With Miss Rashad as the dean.
Right.
So we were excited. I mean, she's much beloved in the College of Fine Arts. And you know, when this happened, the year that this happened, this was the same year that the College of Fine Arts became the College of Fine Arts again, because for a long time it was the Division of Fine Arts under the umbrella of the College of Arts and Sciences.
And I'm so happy they named it after Chadwick.
Yeah. So I mean, to be able to reestablish the school as its own college, you know, the College of Fine Arts was beautiful. To name it after Chad was beautiful. To have her as the dean was beautiful. It was a big year for all of those things to happen. So we were all very excited that this was happening. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like she's also still very active. She's still working as an actor and as a director. And so, you know,
and they're saying being a dean is a full-time.
It's a full-time job. Yeah. So,
but do you feel like she knew that when she accepted the position, or
honestly,
was it kind of like a?
I don't. Did she know that it was a full-time job, or did she know that?
Did she know that it would take, like, it's because you're dealing with not only faculty, you're dealing with students.
Yeah.
You're dealing with finances.
All
you're
the
dealing
things.
with all the things.
Yeah.
It's a high administrative position.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she's just kind of over it and wants to get back to doing her own thing, or?
Well, I don't know. I actually read an article that mentioned a 3-year term. So it seems as if maybe there was a contract. Maybe the contract was 3 years, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't imagine that. I mean, I don't know. No one's really giving a solid reason, which is fine.
Well, some people in the comments are.
Oh God, we don't ever go to the comments.
Yeah, we're not.
Let's just
let's
rise above it and stay out of the comments.
Some people are very opinionated.
These people
in the
saying,
comments.
well, you know, that's what people do when nobody has to look you in your face.
She's right. I agree.
Yeah.
But let's just say that I guess they had some issues with her comments about Mr. Cosby, and there was an issue. Some of the students, you know, felt like that was a problem. But
I don't remember what she said. What did she say?
If I remember correctly, and I don't want to misquote her at all, but she basically said that that the women. No, I don't want to misquote her.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to misquote her. So we'll just say that the students have had a problem with some of her previous comments about the Cosby situation. So,
yeah.
But basically, I think she's 75 years old. At this point, she's brought millions of dollars to that university.
Yeah.
She's brought eyes, recognition. She's done all the things that her celebrity status and her name and her impact should do.
Yeah.
And, you know, the woman that she is, and the accomplishments that she's had on stage and on screen.
Yeah.
So regardless of whatever else is going on, she's still a queen in my eyes, and she can do no wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah. Congrats to her in her, you know, good luck to her in her future endeavors, whether she decides to continue acting, directing, whatever she wants to do.
She's still very active, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's still very active.
I'm still looking for my opportunity to work with her.
Hey, you and me both.
Listen.
It would be such an honor.
I would love it. Absolutely.
It would be such an honor.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Our second. Our second story. Our second story. Paramount Global, that owns BET, announced they are no longer interested in selling a majority stake in BET after a bidding war of black billionaires to make BET black-owned again. Many are speculating that it was a publicity stunt to get black people back watching BET. What are your thoughts on that? I know what I think.
I mean, go. I'm gonna let you go.
I just set it off. People ain't watched BET in a while. How many people still watch BET?
There's still stuff on there.
There's still, listen, I feel like they done chopped up so many shows for ads. Like, as far as BET, I understand the cultural relevance that it's had in our community. But at this point, from a business standpoint, BET is a depreciating asset.
Oh, wow.
And nobody basically wanted to overpay for a depreciating asset, and they knew that, and Tyler Perry pulled out.
Did he pull out?
Well, let's see. They're saying, according to the Wall Street Journal, the company announced Wednesday that it would end the bidding process for the unit, which includes VH1 and BET Studios, streamer BET Plus, and BET Channel, because a sale wouldn't result in any meaningful deleveraging of its balance sheet, which translation means, as Roland Martin said, nobody wanted to overpay for a depreciating asset, which I agree. People familiar with the matter told Wall Street Journal, Paramount Global has received bids ranging from approximately $2 billion to $3 billion. But I believe Tyler Perry's bid was like $1 billion or something like that. But
who bid $3 billion?
I don't know. I honestly don't believe that they just put that out.
You think
there.
those are fake numbers?
I think those fake numbers
news?
to raise the bidding more. Because right now, you know, they're saying they're not interested in selling. Someone's offering you $3 billion and you're not interested in selling. That can't be, in my opinion.
Well, I wonder what it's worth.
I know they were in a lot of debt. Let's see what the comments are saying. Let's see what people in the comments are saying. It's funny how the entities, and shout out to Marcus. Marcus, I had him on the show. I see your comment here on the Shade Room. No, what is this? Black Millionaires. Marcus says, it's funny how the entities who spread the information without vetting it are the ones telling people they were fools to believe them. Bro, we're grown-ups. We can critically assess that business deals can always fall through until the deal is finalized. Okay.
I like Louis' comment.
Louis?
Because I think we need to do that anyway.
Louis says, 3 billionaires and y'all worried about buying the station? If they won't sell it to y'all, then come together and start your own. Amen, Louis.
I think that is what needs to happen.
Amen, Louis. Listen, Byron Allen, Diddy, and Tyler Perry are all billionaires.
With a B.
With a B. Multi-billionaires.
And they all friends with Oprah.
And Byron Allen
is also a billionaire.
Right. And Byron got more money than all of them.
Yeah.
Why y'all gotta buy BET? Start your own. Start your own network.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would like for there to be more of us starting our own as opposed to trying to be a part of someone else's. I would like to see more of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, some of the comments, they're basically differing opinions on the subject. And some people say it should have never been sold. Those people who know the value of BET in essence to the community. Asian A _ undefeated says they should start a new network and make it black something. Tyler Perry and the whole community can pull from BET and start their own. We would support.
But aren't a lot of Tyler Perry shows on BET or BET Plus?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are. I mean, it only made sense for him to
buy the network, where his shows are living.
Bring his shows over and take over it. But
yeah,
like I said, you never really know what's going on behind the scenes with business. So, but yeah, we shall see what happens. Because right now, BET is owned. It's not owned by black people.
Well, but it hasn't been for a while.
It hasn't been for a while.
So yeah,
it hasn't been for a while.
Yeah.
So hopefully it gets back in black hands, but right now it is a depreciating product with a lot of debt. Okay, so next story. So we're gonna switch from business to relationships. I want to get your thoughts on a couple of relationship questions here.
Oh, this one.
This one. A woman says that if a man starts giving you big packages and big presents after a first date, it is a red flag. that is the beginning of love bombing. Let's see what she has to say.
After our first date, we went like on some little walk by the pond, real cute. And the next day, he sent me like a full spa care package. For what?
Like what?
I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Care package?
A spa care package. I'm talking about like facials, deep stone massage, everything after one date. That right there is a red flag to me now. Like when people start giving you big packages and big presents like so early on, that's a red flag. That's the beginning of love bombing.
Okay.
As a resident female on set, I will let you.
I mean, I definitely want to hear what you have to say about this as a man. But I think there's so many layers here. I think one of the layers is that, unfortunately, where should I start? There used to be a time back in the days of yore.
Just say way back when.
There used to be a time when a man wanted to court a woman, he would bring her a gift. That was part of the courting process. Flowers, chocolates, whatever, you know? And that was taken and appreciated and seen as a beautiful thing.
Okay.
And I think it's unfortunate that we've gotten to a place where a man giving you a gift is a red flag immediately. I think that's sad. And love bombing is a real thing.
That is also true.
It's a very real thing.
That is true.
It's a very manipulative thing to do. And unfortunately, a lot of people engage in that. So I think this is, and also too, I mean, we don't know her dating history. It could be that she has been love bombed a lot. And so now she's like, I'm no longer accepting gifts after the first date. I'm just not doing it anymore, just because she may have had bad experiences with that. So that's understandable if that's her rule. But I do think that it's kind of unfortunate that we have learned that we can't accept gifts from men. I think that's.
So you're saying.
That's kind of sad.
You're saying you go on a date with the guy you just met. Not even just met. Let's just say y'all been talking on the phone for a month.
Okay.
You've been talking for a month.
Yeah.
You go on your first date. Y'all have a great time. Chemistry's there. Conversation's there. You know, carries over from the phone conversations. Everything clicks.
I love when that happens.
Everything clicks. And so the next day, he sends you a diamond necklace.
That's excessive. I don't really like diamonds like that either. So.
Right. But I'm just saying, maybe he knows that, okay, not even a diamond necklace. Let's just use her example.
Yeah.
He sends you all-inclusive spa package.
I love that.
Now, you love that.
Well, I'm not into diamonds.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
So let's just say it was a very expensive gift.
Yeah.
He sends you a spa package or a bracelet, a diamond, whatever the case may be, which some people would deem excessive. Now, after a month of talking to this guy, you would still see that as a love bomb, or you would see that as excessive, even though you were comfortable enough to talk to him for a month.
Right.
And maybe his love language is gifts.
Yeah.
Is giving gifts to someone he's connected with.
I think that it depends on the situation, honestly. I think if I've been talking to you for a month on the phone, and if I'm talking for a month, obviously I'm enjoying the conversation. And then we get to the point of going on a date, and the date is wonderful. Like the energy from the phone carries over to the date, which doesn't always happen.
Right.
And the date is great. We're having a great time. We're enjoying each other's company. The conversation is great. All of these things. And he's attentive enough to know what I'm going to like and send it to me. And I still want to go out with him. Like the first date wasn't like, oh no, that's it.
Right.
I think I love that. I wouldn't see that as a love bomb. Now, some people might be like, girl, you setting yourself up. Some people might say that, but I don't think I would see that as a love bomb. I would see that as, wow, he really listened. He was attentive. He heard me talk about the things that I like. He got me something that he knew I would like. he was willing to spend some money on me,
Now, is it still a love bomb? Let's just say you've been talking for 2 weeks and he wants to take you on this all expense paid vacation.
After 2 weeks?
After 2 weeks, he's getting ready to go on vacation. He says, you know what? I feel like I clicked with her. I'm going to take her with me. All expense paid. Let's just say $28,000 trip.
Where are we going?
Would that be? Look at you. Depending on where we're going.
Where are we going?
Greece. Let's just say Greece.
I love Greece.
Let's just say Greece. Is that still considered a love bomb?
I think.
See, because I like to look at things from all perspectives before I.
I think there are so many factors here. I think it depends on the amount of time. I think it depends on, because sometimes you click with people really, really quickly. So I think it depends on that, your level of comfort. You know what I mean? Like for me, because I'm a traveler, I'm not nervous to travel. And I know that if things go awry, I can handle myself by myself.
Right.
So there's that.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I think it's hard to say cut and dry no. Yes or no. I think it would depend on the situation, the person, the energy, the interaction, all of those things. I really do think it's a person by person, decision.
Right. I agree. I agree. I feel like in her particular situation, I feel like someone actually love bombed her and it turned her off.
Absolutely.
Or she misinterpreted it as a love bomb. She's never experienced that before. And it punched her triggers. It pushed her buttons or it flipped her switch. Because she's never experienced that before.
Right.
She's never met a man who's maybe his love language is giving gifts or expressing himself. And she saw it as narcissism or love bombing or maybe a conversation she's heard. I don't know. I just feel like every situation is a case by case situation. Some things are excessive. You can't just meet somebody you've gone out on a date with the first week or whatever and send them expensive gifts. That is weird. That may be a little strange. I think it all, like you said, it all comes back down to comfort with that person, conversation, pretty much getting a good feel for who that person is and what their intentions are and what their emotions are.
And also too, I want to add that unfortunately, a lot of women have been taught that if a man gives you a gift, automatically he wants something and his intentions are not pure. And that's unfortunate too, because it's not the case. I mean, it could be the case sometimes, but I don't think that's the case all the time. But unfortunately, a lot of women have been taught that from the time that they were a little girl, when they started dating. He gave you what? Girl, give that back. He wants something. And so you start to internalize that and you're not able to receive gifts. And I think that's unfortunate.
I think it all depends on the person that you're dealing with from the perspective of what if he's a young-minded guy and he with a lot of money and feels like, oh, I'm going to impress her. Or I'm going to shell it out. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to make it rain. And that may be a turn off to her. Or what if he's a mature guy with resources and money and just says, okay, this is how I'm going to show my appreciation to let her know that I'm really feeling her. But that's not love bombing.
And either of those things could be true. You could have a person who has a lot of money who's using their money to cover for the fact that they ain't got much else going on. And then you could have a person who has a lot of money or doesn't have a lot of money, but they're willing to use their money to show how much they appreciate or, whatever. So again, case by case basis, I think it depends on the person you're dealing with. And I feel like hopefully you can kind of discern that in the interaction. Like, oh, he's just trying to impress you because he really doesn't have much else.
And I don't think that, and that's what I'm getting from her. Maybe her discernment isn't the best. Maybe. I'm going to say maybe. She just seems triggered.
She's very triggered.
She just seems very. She just seems very.
She's very triggered
by it.
Yeah.
Instead of reflecting or just kind of working through it.
Yeah.
Emotionally, she seems triggered.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like either she's been taught that or she's had this. Seems like she's had.
Yeah, I'm talking about you ain't know. Don't slide them DMs on her. I ain't know she knew all that.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Next topic, last topic.
Oh wow.
I thought this was extremely interesting. Bride refuses to obey her husband during wedding vows. We didn't talk about that when we were in counseling, and she made it clear. You cannot be broke. Y'all check this out.
For better.
For better.
For worse.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poorer.
Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
Miss Tryphena, the floor is yours. Have you ever been married? First, let me ask you.
I've never been married.
Never been married. Okay.
Never been married.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, I have to say that it seems like they probably have a witty banter because everybody's laughing. So it seems even the crowd is laughing. So it seems like everybody knows that this is like their comical banter that they have going back and forth. That's one thing that I'm observing.
Speak your mind. Hey, we keep it we keep it real here on the Narrow Path Podcast. Y'all already know that.
Listen,
speak your mind.
The whole you can't be broke. Don't be broke.
Okay.
Get your house in order before you buy me a ring.
Okay. Now, that I agree with. A woman's number one need in life is security.
Let's talk about it.
It's security. It's security and it's communication over everything. Just like a man's number one need is honor and respect, even over sex. It's honor and respect. Women want security, whether it's financial or physical.
Yeah.
They want to feel protected. They want to be protected.
Yeah.
I just feel like some women don't know how to emotionally get that point across.
Oh, okay. Don't know how to communicate that they need to feel secure.
That they need to feel secure, and they make it about money, which it is, but it shouldn't be all about money. They shouldn't make the man feel like that's all he's good for is what he can do for you financially. Does that make sense?
Then don't flash your car. Don't flash your watch. Don't floss in front of me if you don't want me to look at your money.
Okay.
If you come to me showing me your money,
if that's what you lead with, right?
Then that's what you're gonna get.
Okay, that's no different than if a woman was walking down the street in a tight dress and tight heels and with a butt all out and a breast all out and talking about, hey,
if that's what you're putting in the
sex.
window, that's what people are shopping for.
I agree.
So I'll say that.
Okay.
What I'll also say is, it's interesting because I've been in situations before where I did not feel secure and it wasn't about money. But when I said that, that's all the guy heard.
You said it wasn't about money?
I didn't say it was. No, I did. I said, there are situations that are happening that don't make me feel secure.
Okay.
But what he heard was,
you just want, you're all about
what
money.
he was like, but I make enough money, but I said, I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about finances. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about security is not just about finances. Security is about emotional security. Okay. It's about if we're out together and something goes down, do I trust that you can handle
that you can protect me?
That you can protect me.
Right.
Do I trust that you're going to make a decision that is wise for me? So like if I'm going to marry you, that means I trust you with my life.
Right.
Do I trust your decision making enough to say, if you have to make a decision that concerns me without consulting me, do I trust the decision that you'll make? None of that has anything to do with money.
Right.
So I think when
and that goes back to my point earlier when I said secure, not just financially secure, but emotional security,
but I think
physical security.
I think that when you say security, even if you say it's more than finances, unfortunately, all people hear is financially secure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't consider how security includes other things, that it's not just about money.
Right.
That being said, this is interesting that this is happening at their wedding because it's like, what did y'all talk about in counseling?
Right.
And some people don't even get counseling. I think it's great that they did, but so that's the you can't be broke part. The obey part.
I was just getting ready to get to that.
Like, we gonna go there too. So I mean, I feel like that alludes to like the whole conversation about submission and all of that, which a lot of people have trouble with. Because I think a lot of people don't understand
That's
it.
a dirty word to a lot of women.
It is.
It's more dirtier than the F word is the S word.
It is.
Because it's misinterpreted.
But also too, I think it has been misused.
Misused and misinterpreted.
Yes. So I think that unfortunately, when we talk about submission, there is just a gross lack of understanding of what that actually means on both sides. Because a lot of times dudes think, that means I'm the boss. I'm not your employee. So what are we talking about there? You can't be a dictator, So I think when we talk about submission, I think there's a whole just lack of understanding in general about that. And yeah.
But so you would be willing, you would have no issue with saying love, honor, and obey your husband.
Yeah, but I don't know if those will be because I don't know that I've ever heard love, honor. I've heard love, honor, cherish.
Those are traditional.
Or those are the traditional vows.
Those are the traditional vows.
I mean, honestly, for me, I feel like I would probably want to write my own vows anyway. Okay. Like I feel like I would want us to do that together.
Okay.
Just because that's what I would want to do. But if you're taking traditional vows, then you're taking traditional vows.
Okay.
And if you don't want to take traditional vows, then figure that out before you get to the altar.
I agree. And she shouldn't have. I felt like she embarrassed her husband. Like I don't feel like that was not the time to do that because obviously they've had, as the pastor said, they've had many discussions in counseling about whether they were going to do this or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they had came to an agreement in counseling to write your own vows, they wouldn't have had this conversation.
Yeah, but also too, if they've talked about it that many times in counseling and weren't able to come to an agreement, they shouldn't be at the altar until they can agree.
Exactly.
So that's
exactly.
And he shouldn't be marrying them knowing that we haven't been able to get past this part.
To me, that's right. To me, for him, if I were him, that'd be a red flag for me because if we've had this many conversations in counseling and in private about this, and you feel like the word obey means you're my slave or something, and we've talked about that, and that's not what it means.
Yeah.
It's simply synonymous with submission.
Yeah.
And submission is supposed to mean for a biblical man that as I submit to God and Jesus, you submit to me.
Yeah.
You follow my lead.
Yeah.
As I follow God.
Yeah. But a lot of people demanding submission are not biblical.
Right.
So there's that.
And that's where the misinterpretation
Yeah.
and the misrepresentation of the word comes into play. And that's got so many people in their feelings about that. The word obey is a strong word, but when used in proper context, it simply means the same thing as submit.
It's honor.
So would she had been more comfortable with saying love, honor, and submit?
She probably wouldn't have.
She would not have either. So that's an issue. That's what I'm saying. She's not willing to submit and follow her husband and let him lead biblically.
Well,
in any context, in any. I don't. From this clip, I don't know the inner workings of their relationship. I'm simply saying from what I'm seeing in this clip.
Yeah. I mean, these are the things you discuss before you get married.
Right.
You know, and you make sure you understand what these words mean and how each of you interpret them and how they are to play out in your marriage.
Right.
And that's also part of the pastor's job, or the counselor's job, is to make sure that
and I think he
on
tried.
the same page.
I feel like he really, really tried.
Yeah.
And she just not having it.
But then why are you up there marrying?
Why are you up there marrying that man?
You gotta say, I'm sorry, but I can't be the one responsible for bringing y'all together if we keep coming to this stopping point.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
but yeah, I mean.
Hey, listen.
It
is what it is.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Everybody's situation is their situation.
Yeah.
So good luck. Best of luck to this couple. I hope they're still together.
Well, how long ago was this posted?
This was maybe, I want to say, a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. So.
4 days ago.
Oh.
So
okay.
It could be older.
Right. You never know how long it's been floating around.
But yeah.
I would be interested to hear from them.
Right. If y'all happen to run across this podcast, hit me up. Even come on the show. It's really for actors and creators. But
we can make an exception.
We can make an exception. We can make an exception just to get an update.
Yeah.
Just to get an update or clarification on y'all situation. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she wrong. Who knows? We don't know what y'all relationship is or what. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know what I feel like.
But I have to say, I don't think either of them are surprised. Neither the husband or the minister. Mm-hmm. They know who they're dealing with.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So.
And if he's signing up for that, then
God
bless him.
That's where I want to pause, because we don't know what he's signing up. This is one moment.
Yeah, but it speaks so loudly.
But does it though? That's the thing about social media, is that you don't know the whole
context. But I said that earlier. I don't know the inner workings of their relationship.
Right,
I said that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I said from this clip, from just this clip, and from what she did and what they said. This is what I interpret.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. What's going on behind the scenes in their relationship.
Yeah.
But from this clip, I'm just saying.
He know his woman.
Do we though? Maybe.
I mean, he know her well enough to put a ring on it.
Okay.
So.
Well, God bless you, brother. Been there, done that. God bless you, brother. For those who know, they know.
Wow.
God bless you, brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
Was there trouble with the vows?
Hey, for those who know, they know. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'm clueless, so I'm just here.
Well, you'll be there one day. So.
Well, yes.
So
yes,
we claim it.
We claim it
in the name of Jesus.
Absolutely.
Well, Miss Tryphena, it has been wonderful talking with you, getting to know you. Thank you for coming through.
Absolutely.
Give everyone your socials one more time, where they can reach you, where they can contact you, all your work, if they want to hire you, whatever the case may be.
Hire me.
And just let them know what's and whatever you might have coming forth, other than Solomon's Mood.
Yeah.
If you have any other projects getting ready, you're working on independent projects. I know there's a strike.
But, I do have some things coming, but I'm still not quite sure on how much I can say.
I got you.
But I will say, stay connected to my social media. And
there we go.
Yeah. So that is, my Instagram is Tryphena_Wade. My film page is Solomon's Mood. My website is TryphenaWade.com. Facebook, Tryphena Wade. If you Google Tryphena Wade, you will find me. So
there it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through. Everybody give her a hand. The multi-talented, the multi-dimensional, the beautiful Miss Tryphena Wade. This has been another episode of the Narrow Path Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Help us, help them. This is a platform for multi-talented artists who don't get enough shine. We want to get their work and showcase them out. Please subscribe. Please share. Please like, comment. Yeah, on the other